You step into the terminal. Your phone buzzes with delayed gate info, the fluorescent lights hum, and the security queue snails forward as your anxiety climbs. You can smell coffee and jet fuel under the echo of rolling suitcases, and the board says, "Security wait, 45+ minutes." This is the exact panic most rare flyers feel, the fear of losing time, the unknown rules, and the thought that you might be doing something wrong.
If your flight happens to be canceled or delayed, Compensair will help you get compensation for the inconvenience and get your money back without wasting time on red tape. Get a refund for your canceled flight right.
If that sounds like you, breathe. I'm an airport veteran, and I'll talk you through what TSA PreCheck and Global Entry actually are, how to choose between them, what you must do before you arrive at the airport, and the cheapest, most reliable way to get the faster lanes. I'll explain why the systems exist using a grocery checkout analogy so it clicks, show real cost ranges and risk scenarios, and expose one common upsell you should refuse. Start by understanding the basic difference. TSA PreCheck is a U.S. domestic security program that gets you a dedicated security lane where you keep shoes and light jackets on and don't need to remove laptops or liquids. Global Entry is a customs/immigration program for international arrivals. It includes Global Entry kiosks at U.S. airports to skip the passport control line, and it bundles TSA PreCheck eligibility. Which one you need depends on whether you fly internationally, at least occasionally. Before you even go to the airport, do 3 simple checks at home. 1. Look at your frequent traveler history and decide how many international trips you will take in the next 5 years. 2. Check your credit cards. Many premium travel cards reimburse the application fee, which can save you the entire cost. 3. Create accounts on the official sites, tsa.gov for PreCheck info and cbp.gov, Global Entry, or the Trusted Traveler Programs, TTP portal for Global Entry. Don't buy a third-party service to fast-track your application. Those sellers often charge extra for something you can do free on the official site. Next, gather documents: a valid passport for Global Entry and a government photo ID for PreCheck. For both programs, you'll need to fill an online application and pass a background check. If your application is conditionally approved, you'll schedule a short in-person interview at an enrollment center for fingerprints and a few questions. Interviews typically take 10-15 minutes, though centers can have waits or limited appointment slots. Plan ahead. Why do these programs exist?
Think of the airport like a supermarket. Most shoppers go through the regular checkout. It's safe but slow. Trusted traveler programs are the express lane for customers who have proven they're low risk. The airline and government can process you faster because they've already checked your ID and background. It's the same principle. Strike a balance between speed and safety. Now the costs and timelines, plainly. TSA PreCheck enrollment fee is non-refundable and typically around $78 for a 5-year membership. Global Entry is about $100 for 5 years and includes TSA PreCheck eligibility, so if you fly internationally, Global Entry is usually the better value. Some credit cards refund that fee as a card benefit. Check before you pay. Appointment availability varies by airport. Large hubs often have same-week interviews. Smaller centers can be booked out for months. Walk-in options exist sometimes, but don't count on them if you have tight travel dates. What's the real risk if you ignore this? Worst-case scenarios. You miss a flight because you waited in a long security line and the only next flight is expensive or inconvenient. You spend hours tired and stressed in customs after a long international flight because you didn't enroll. Or you pay unnecessary fees to a middleman. The good news is, none of these are permanent disasters, but they cost time, money, and peace of mind. A reasonable estimate. Getting PreCheck can reduce your security time by 5–30 minutes on average on domestic trips. Global entry can cut customs processing from 30–60 minutes down to under 10 minutes on arrival. If you want the cheapest, safest solution, follow this path. If you mostly fly within the US, apply for TSA PreCheck directly at tsa.gov. If you fly internationally even once a year, apply for global entry via the CBPTTP portal. You get both programs in one $100 fee. Before paying, check your bank cards for a reimbursement benefit. Book the earliest possible interview and bring printed documents to avoid delays. If your interview is far out and you have an upcoming trip, look for enrollment centers at larger, nearby airports. A short drive can save weeks of wait time. Now, a practical checklist for the day you go to the enrollment interview or the airport. Bring a paper copy of your conditional approval letter, passport or government ID, proof of address if requested, and any court records if you have a complex background. Be upfront. Hiding information is what causes denials. Arrive 10–15 minutes early. Wear neutral clothing so the official can quickly match your photo, and expect a brief fingerprint scan and a few standard questions about addresses and travel. Many useful links can be found in the description, a specific hidden fee and trick to watch for. Some third-party websites and so-called concierge services advertise faster enrollment or guaranteed appointments. They often charge $50, $200 on top of the official fee just to schedule your interview or to submit your application. That is unnecessary. The official CBP Trusted Traveler Program's website, ttp.cbp.dhs.gov, and TSA's site are free to use. Any extra charge is for convenience, not a government requirement. Refuse those upsells. If an enrollment center offers a last-minute priority appointment for a separate charge or suggests you need a third-party background check, decline and insist on the official process. Your right is to apply and interview without paying an intermediary. Another misconception: some travelers assume PreCheck is automatic when you enter a frequent flyer number. It isn't. Airline frequent flyer status doesn't grant PreCheck. You must have an approved PreCheck or global entry membership and provide your known traveler number, KTN, on your reservation. Double-check your booking. If your boarding pass doesn't show the PreCheck indicator, you won't get the lane, even if you have a membership. Add your KTN to your airline profile and each reservation well before check-in. What about children and companions? Children 12 and under can ride with a parent in a PreCheck lane, but older kids need their own eligibility. Global entry is per person and requires an application and interview, even for minors. If you travel with friends who don't have PreCheck, you'll either have to split up at security or use the regular lane together. If you travel rarely and cost is a concern, here's one practical strategy. Apply for global entry only when you know you'll take an international trip in the next 12 months. Use credit card reimbursement to cover the fee, or schedule at a nearby big city enrollment center to get a faster interview date. If your travel is strictly domestic and infrequent, PreCheck alone is fine. You can always upgrade later. Let's be candid about reliability. Occasionally, systems glitch. PreCheck availability depends on the checkpoint and aircraft. Some small airports won't have a dedicated PreCheck lane even if your boarding pass says you're eligible. Similarly, a global entry kiosk could be down, meaning you queue with everyone else. Treat PreCheck and global entry as time-reducing tools, not guarantees. Always leave the same buffer time for airport security on critical travel days. Finally, how to refuse pushy upsells in person. At enrollment centers or airport kiosks, you may be offered expedited identity verification or optional photo services by private vendors. Politely say, "No thanks, I only use the official agency process." If a salesperson insists that you must pay extra for a guaranteed interview, say you will reschedule through the official portal and walk away. If you follow these steps, pick the product that matches your travel pattern, apply on the official site, bring the right documents, check your known traveler number on bookings, and avoid third-party upsells, you will cut your airport wait times significantly and keep more predictable travel days. If this helped, please subscribe and like. I publish clear, practical airport tips to keep your trips calm and on time. Safe travels.